not everyone on the same page. And I feel this has been a consistent issue for the middle of the pack teams.
Yeah.
And today.
Today has been very all over the place. As Ox points at something that I spilled on my paper.
Yeah.
Just adding fuel to the fire.
Oh, it's been a disaster, honestly, for you, Brendan.
Today's been rough, man. It's been a rough day.
It has been
It's okay.
Is it?
It is.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You sure?
I think the games are better than one-sided stomps, you know? One-sided stomps are like, well, you know what? And it takes like 15 minutes to end the game. We're like, well, anyway, like, what are we even doing? Like, end the game now, please. Whereas this is a lot more back and forth. And
you know, something in the middle would be like hype back and forth, but without the... There's been some shenanigans today. A little bit too many shenanigans.
That's hard to get, though. Like, those are series where people remember them because the games are so good.
Yeah,
if we could somehow get that every day, it'd be the best.
Nidalee banned instead of Xin Zhao in this situation. And last time it was Aurora who was banned. I don't think it's going to get banned here because, I mean, Rumble's banned. You're not going for the Gwen. You see them contemplating what they want to take away. Varus could be a decent ban. They instead go for the Calista. So Xin Zhao open and available. Varus open and available. Those are some of the high prio big picks that we often see banned away.
Yeah. I think picking up Xin Zhao for Sponge is pretty good. Although Rich is nodding his head. That's because he's the one
Yes, we should pick Xin Zhao
that selects the pick as the first guy on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over to the other side. Jace making a lot of sense considering the Gwen and Rumble are off the cards.
Sion available. So if Rich just wants to go on a Sion, he can.
Probably will be the response. Could pick up a mid if you want to have priority on something here. If you're not really bothered, you could just take jungle. There is still like the... Oh, look at the Annie. Does get locked in for Showmaker, we assume. Did get played support in the LEC, I believe, and didn't go very well at all.
Yeah.
Those two locked in, so a lot of power from the Annie around those skirmishes post level 6. The tip is having a lot of strength, especially that first time spike can be massive. And we'll see the Sion come through in response to Jace. No real surprise there. In terms of mid lane, what would you want to take in this situation? Because there's ears out the window as like a safe pick in the mid lane.
Victor?
I just think the problem with Victor is you're playing a mobile pick into Annie. I think the lane is fine though. Maybe you do just go for that.
Yeah. I just don't know like what else you would pick that's more mobile.
Gonna look at the Talia. I mean, Talia's fine, but might run into a similar issue. At least when Annie closes distance, you kind of try and flip her away. Or flip her into your rocks. That works too. And loop the Lee Sin. I mean, they have the point and click stun from the Annie. But okay, so what does Lee Sin do a lot of?
You were about to say damage, so I think
not damage. What does he do a lot of? Dashing. Dashing, Brendan. He does a lot of dashing. Are there any champions on the other side that you think might oppose that?
Talia.
Yes. Talia. Not fun to play Lee Sin into, is what I'm trying to get at. Thank you for not helping at all, Brendan.
We got there in the end.
Did we? Did we get there? Or
you
did
and I got there? I was dragged kicking and screaming, but I got there.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I don't think Lucid got the memo.
Yes. Well, so honestly, the Varus ends up getting banned away in this situation when those longer range picks taken off the cards. Rakan and Nautilus gone. The Ezreal is available. I think the Ezreal pick's actually pretty good here, considering you're into like a Talia Sion. Talia Sion against an Ezreal, what are you supposed to do? Does struggle to punch through the Sion a little bit, and the Xin Zhao, but I mean, don't most AD carries?
Yeah. You'll kill him eventually.
Yeah. In terms of not getting knocked up or flung through the stones, I think Ezreal pretty happy in this situation.
Yeah.
And now, you know, a lot of the engaged supports have been banned. Rel is available. Leona is available.
Lucian.
So they just end up going Lucian Braum? I mean, it's it's a decent combo. I mean, you could
I don't know if
Rel.
they have enough damage.
You could go Rel. You could also go Karma. Does end up going the Rel. Very short-range composition. And in terms of engage options, it is kind of just either Xin Zhao run at them or Sion charge in. Not ideal. Also, playing Lucian, like everyone's like, your carries a short range into an Annie.
Yeah.
Into an Annie Rel. So I'm kind of worried how this will go for DRX.
We just saw this last series where Aatrox was picked into Lucian and Tristana, and we were like, straight to the point on that one.
Yeah, well, that's what they need.
That might be what they do in this one. Game number 2. They have been known to win game 1s and then kind of falter a little bit, but game 1 wasn't super convincing, so maybe that streak isn't what we're going to get tonight. DRX, DPLUS Kia, game 2 starts now.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right, game number 2.
Oh, the level 1.
It is Braum.
Braum, Lucian, Xin Zhao. It's only Talia here, actually, but the Xin Zhao's coming over. But that trio is very strong. I mean, Talia level 1 is crazy as well. They've got to do it.
Run.
He's a Rel. It's kind of hard to catch the Rel out with the crash down.
Yeah.
A lot of respect given. Rich gets 5 gold for spotting the ward.
GG. He did it. He crashed down.
Yep.
It's a good ward. I don't think he gets punished here. Ooh.
Wolves not helping at all.
Everybody loved that maneuver.
I think it's actually kind of close, this 4v4. You know, I was ready to say, no, DRX hard win this, but actually, Lee Sin, Annie, Ezreal, Rel, it's pretty close. You could see that going either way. I think DRX feels similarly and back off. You get some poke on aiming, though. And Beryl missed all the initial XP.
Yeah.
So aiming's gonna hit level 2 soon. But Beryl is a long way away, so Lazy Fuel and Andal have the pressure there. That's a good trade coming out.
Lucian Braum. You can stack concussive blows very quickly. That's what it does.
One more melee minion.
Yep. They get it here. Doesn't look like they have enough pressure. So.
I feel like they could just force aggressively.
Into Beryl. Level
Yeah.
1. When he was sitting in the brush.
Yeah. Maybe give him a bit too much respect. This barrel, after all, does have aura.
He took that. He stood there and he waited for the Q, and he crashed down away from them.
What's it called when you uncrash down? Like crash
out.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd rather crash down rather than crash out.
That's fair.
Well, Beryl got Aftershock. Probably just poked Ando with the lance. Level 3 for the Lucian.
Not quite able to get in range to get that 4th shot off. Beryl playing pretty respectful right now. Andal doing the big Braum damage. Slow start so far. Kind of interested to see what Lucy can do on this Lee Sin. Been a while since we've seen much Lee Sin play
Yeah.
in the LCK.
It's definitely one that he and Canyon have picked up from time to time and have showcased some pretty insane play on, especially Lucid up against Gen G. I'll always remember that, his first playoffs, where he just picked Lee Sin and just styled all over them.
Yep.
I don't believe they won that, though, but he at least helped win a game with Lee Sin, which was impressive in his first playoffs. Shu down on health up against the Scion. Maybe just aggressively farming Grasp. Got caught out. A little angle here for Beryl as Andal in a very awkward spot, but he is Braum, so He just backs away with the door in front of him.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw this earlier. Aiming and Andal don't have flash. You know when Aiming got chunked on the way to lane?
Yeah.
I guess Andal flashed on him.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
You can see that, right? I'm not going crazy.
I don't remember that specifically, but now the flash comes in, and guess who doesn't have it? It is Aiming. He has to use his barrier. Beryl also getting punished here quite a bit. And flash forward, actually dash forward from Lazyfield, and well, at least the Q missed.
Nice dodge. But getting some good pressure down with his Lucian Braum. This is what you want to be doing with his combo. Playing around those passive stacks and Aiming and Beryl in the back foot.
Here it is.
Hey, I called it. And thank you so much to our production team for showing us. Now we are knowers.
We're in the know. Level 1, yeah. Where that did happen.
Yeah, going to be back up soon. Obviously, Lazyfield just put in his flash. Lucid looking mid.
Yeah, I mean, the Rock's not going to do much against Lucid in this case, but 2 more members will. So he just runs away, hops over to Showmaker.
That's the thing. He puts the Unraveled Earth out towards Showmaker, but like Showmaker's not going to dash at you. So it doesn't really do much against Lucid. But the back of the team will. Good timing for Sponge and Andal to be there.
Yeah. Still no first blood. Feels like Rich is doing fine. You know, he's a bit behind, but he's Scion and he's just catching waves, neutralizing the Jace.
That's what you gotta do. Level 6 hit by Showmaker though. If you're gonna make something happen on the Annie, it's around that Tibbers, finding an angle with that. And you do see pings coming out actually though, but on the other direction, it looks like Sponge trying to set something up to find Showmaker. This is risky because although both mids are level 6, I would much rather Annie's level 6 than Talia's level 6 in a fight. If I'm just being honest, you know, a little bit more impactful, just a tiny bit more impactful in a straight fight.
Yeah, just a tad bit, just a wee bit. Meanwhile, this time though, Yukal's gonna get over here first. Lucid does have to flash.
That being said, if it's about joining the fight first,
yeah. Rich ults Siu, who now is going to flash away and is incredibly low. Showmaker just looking for that angle, though, trying to bait them into this one was DK, and it will be very successful. Yukal not able to help them out at all. Showmaker, 1v2 essentially, but he does have Tibbers, so 2v2, I guess you could say. Meanwhile, we get a stun here on the Beryl, who does get cullinged in the face.
a lot of damage wasn't taken down. Yeah, I think both Rich and Sponge try to pre-flash Showmaker and just completely read it wrong. Like, Showmaker was so patient, so we watched this situation. They find Lucid initially, Weaver's Wall comes out, that ensures that Lucid essentially has to flash out of this one. And then here, they're looking for Shiwu, and look at the way Rich and Sponge play it. Like, they know Showmaker's up to the side, see Showmaker walking up, they're like, okay, flash, he's gonna ult. Oh, he didn't ult.
Oh, wait.
Now he comes in and uses it. You know what I mean? It looked like the way they both flash.
Yeah.
Like someone shouted like, "Care Annie!" And then and he still got the stun.
Yeah.
Would have been if they both flashed the Tibbers, would have been huge. But Showmaker's just chilling, you know. He's like, Lucid can survive long enough. Shiwu can survive long enough.
You gotta factor in the old man latency, you know. Showmaker's a little bit slower than he used to be, so you gotta like put an extra 100 MS on that. And then you can flash.
That felt like a little longer than 100 MS. Just strolling his way on over there.
Yeah. Beryl also just taking damage. I think it's what he enjoys the most in League of Legends.
Damage taken stat.
Yeah. CC score.
Lucid
Just going in onto Ondil.
will be forced away from the dragon.
Sponge.
Nearly getting the knock-up, not quite. This kind of feels we've gone from, okay, I want this objective, to both teams like, no, we'll just harass each other so no one gets an objective. No one's allowed to have fun.
Yeah. It definitely feels like both teams are playing a bit more carefully in this game, even though we did have that fight.
Okay, Sponge smites that, so now Lucid's like, well, okay, I can get dragon.
I feel like it's been Hextech first, like 4 games in a row or something.
Don't blame me for that. I'm not a Hextech guy.
Yeah, we had like Hextech, Chemtech a couple of times.
Stop blaming me, Brendan.
And then it went into Ocean and Mountain, right? And then we had Hextech. Maybe we didn't have Hextech in the last game, actually.
Remember how we had that Chemtech bug?
Chemtech. It's going to be Cloud or Infernal. Those are the only 2 left. Lazyfield, awkward spot, but now he's got Braum, and he is standing behind Braum. He's doing what he's told, but now the culling comes out, and Beryl in a rough spot has to flash. Lazyfield a bit low, so he can't really force that one.
Yeah, a bit low on mana as well.
Yeah.
Well, on the backing away.
They get the flash out of Beryl. Still feel good about that.
Yeah, you'll take it. And I think it's just so hard in those extended fights to win out because of the Braum just standing there and applying passive. He does do that pretty well.
Yeah. Standing there menacingly.
Now in a situation where, again, slower sort of pace of the game, those 2 early kills to the mid-jungle that came out from Lucid Showmaker are relevant. I kind of want to see a window where they look to play around that more. The point-and-click CC of Yanni combined with the Lee Sin burst, really effective if they can start to spread that impact to the rest of the map. That's when they can start really pushing the pace of the game forwards. Because right now, there's... It's pretty even in terms of gold, but there's discrepancies here and there. You know, like advantage for the mid-jungle for DPLUS, but advantage for DRX's bot lane.
I'm just not that convinced by the Lucian nowadays. I feel like if you are incredibly confident on it and it's a really good spot for it, then yeah, sure. But I kind of liked Jhin more. Feels like we haven't seen as much Jhin this week.
I feel like the thing with Lucian is that, I mean, this was true when Lucian Nami was a thing, but less so because Lucian Nami was so obnoxious that you could kind of just brute force. But even then, like, I think it's very true that, like, you have to be proficient on the champion, and he is a champion with a high skill cap. Like, playing around, getting passive procs off, using your mobility, playing around your very short range, especially into a team like this, is difficult. Like, I think the champion does have strength, and we've seen it a bit from the laning prowess there, but I also think that he comes with, like, a very clear weakness. And you compare to other short-range AD carries, like you have Kai'Sa who can go invisible and has roll to dash. You have Xayah who can fly up in the air and has the feathers to root defensively. You have Sivir who has the spell shield. Like, Lucian doesn't have those tools. You just have the dash, but you're often using the dash to be aggressive. And if you use your dash to be aggressive, then it's like, well, you have to think about when is the next time you're going to be able to dash again. Especially when you're playing into an Annie Rel.
Yeah. Just the opportunity for DK to shut it down seems very...
Oh, man.
Yeah. There's been a lot of missed cannons on camera today.
It has been...
Just adding to the...
Going strong is struggling today.
Yeah. Just catching them all.
Especially on a Scion as well. Missing out on the stacks.
Yeah.
Devastating.
There's not that much time on the plates. About a minute, but they're still going to get one. Split between Lazyfield and Handel, actually.
I feel like it's one of those spikes for Lucian, the Essence Reaver. In terms of damage, it's not going to, like, drastically change things. It's not like the old Gale Force give you so much burst potential.
God.
But the infinite mana on Lucian is just so nice, because now you can just spell sling, literally. You can just throw W's out, you can go for little Q trades. Every single time we saw DRX's bot lane have pressure, Lucian's always out of mana. And now that's no longer a thing. Now it's impossible to run out of mana with Essence Reaver as Lucian.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're doing that. They're trying to hide on bush in the river. But it's Ezreal. I mean, they're never really punishing aiming except almost that one time, which is why he kind of lost a bit of farm and fell behind. More so, it just depends on if Beryl wants to step up and take a beating for fun.
Yep.
Which he has elected not to.
Yeah.
At the moment.
But they just have permanent prio as well now, because Lazyfield can just spam abilities into the wave, so they will be able to get the reset off first, and are pathing down towards his bot side for this second dragon. With it being a Chemtech as well, you're hoping it's a good dragon, Soul. Obviously, in Game 1, when it was that Chemtech Soul, was a little underwhelming. didn't really allow DPLUS to close out the game that convincingly.
They did it. They stumbled over the line and got the win. But I think we've had Hextech, Chemtech, and then Ocean Soul first, and then Hextech, Chemtech, and then Mountain Soul. So I'm predicting either Infernal or Cloud as the two remaining as we get the same order. I'm trying to set up something on a lazy field, but he is Lucian with Cleanse Flash. So unless you really lock him down with great follow-up immediately, he's just going to get away.
Yeah. Do you see Showmaker looking?
Yeah.
Just looking, though.
Looking at them.
Staring them down.
Looking in their general direction. She was like, I wish you took damage.
Yes, he does not. But again, it's just both teams just kind of negating the other team rather than doing the being able to do it themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of back and forth in that manner. It has been a much slower paced game. Considering the vibes we've had today, which has just been hectic. Oh. Hectic non-stop fighting.
Yeah.
This is a bit more chilled out, mellowed, you know? You have time, Brendan, to... I was going to say to clear up the stuff you spilled on you. There's more stuff there.
Yeah,
How did that happen?
I don't know. It's spread.
How did you spread it?
The paper, I pulled it up like this.
Why would you do that? Oh, Brendan.
It's an accident.
Making a mess.
Well, we're
Speaking of
fighting.
making a mess.
We're actually fighting. And DK are like, no, never mind. I was just kidding. And TP comes out, and now they engage after the fact. Dondo, though, is going to get away. Nice kick here on a sponge. And DK will get the first kill. It is a Cloud Soul.
Whoa.
In fact, ooh, that's going to miss. Lucid going in, taking a bunch of damage, but his lazy feel is low as well. 1Q takes him out, follows him on the flash. As Zucal desperate to do the damage, but aiming is essentially a tank compared to all these low health members, trying to land a stun, but he just flashes away.
Will Lucid do it?
No. Oh, yes, he will. He actually will. He's still at flash. And that's why. And now he's got another Q. Gets the execute. And Rich, the only one to get away from him.
So Dragon goes to DRX, but DPLUS laser focused on the fight, and the combo of the Rel, Annie, not fun to play into, especially as this short range composition. We'll see how it goes here. You can see that the setup is coming in. Barrel out of vision, goes for the Q flash. Andal, close to being deleted instantly, does just survive, but ult doesn't quite clip onto him. And then here, Laserfield trying to do what he can, but Showmaker with a flash Q that follows. No avoiding that. And then here, it gets a little hectic. The flash has been available to Aiming and Lucid, definitely helped a lot in this play. Able to flash the Scion Q, and then here, Lucid just feeling himself. You know, if you're gonna play Lee Sin, I think you gotta play it like this.
Yeah. She was so low on health, he stuck around in the very back of the fight, and he actually got that kill onto Lazy Feel.
That's the thing with Jace, you know. We're not seeing as much like setup to get like poke pre-fight, but in the fight, you're doing a lot in your melee form. Even with him not being tank Jace, you're surprisingly tanky because you get extra resists from when you're in melee form.
Yeah.
And then you just shock blast to clean up. Oh.
Trying to engage here. They don't have flash on Aiming. He's just going to try to dodge it, but he just gets chunked. 100-0. Down he goes. Showmaker in a bunch of trouble as well. It's 2 kills now to DRX. And a nice turn from DRX. They say, the hell with the Rift Herald, we'll just take the turret instead.
Yeah, capitalizing on those lack of summoners coming through. And Showmaker doesn't get burst of damage on a lazy field, but not enough to take him down. Won't get the translation into the turret. May look towards the Rift Herald, but I think feeling hesitant with some of the low health bars. I'll see a replay of this one. Just catching them out. And Aiming doesn't help himself by channeling the ult, which keeps him still. Ease over. The Scion comes in. The damage is there. There's nothing you can do to escape that. Unfortunately, Showmaker ends up sharing the same fate. Even gives Sponge an exit route there with the dash. And now Herald will be started.
Yeah.
And like be done by DRX. With how low mid tower is, that one's easy pickings.
Yeah, should be. I mean, DK, we'll see if they do challenge this. Lucid just hanging around, just going to kick, but he's not able to get in range. And at least does avoid the knock-up. But yeah, DRX get the objective. We'll look to push it down mid. But we'll see how long it does take them to actually get position on it. And it's still a very even game. I feel like Cloud Soul going to be pretty good, but not amazing value on the side of DK, I feel. DRX is also all right. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the flat movement speed is always
Yeah,
good.
of course.
It's the movement speed on ult. I don't think anyone's particularly too jazzed about. I mean, I think the most is probably... The thing is, if you by the time you ult on Annie, that is like, you'd rather have the movement speed going into the ult, you know?
You can like chase for one more Q.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
probably Lucian gets the most out of it.
Yeah.
So... But, you know, still that little bit of extra movement speed will help a good amount. Also makes it more difficult when you're playing champions like Lee Sin or Annie, who have, like, Annie wants to close the distance and ult, Lee Sin wants to connect his Qs. Does make those more difficult. Also makes it easier to, like, run out of Sion Q, run out of Talia rocks. Like, movement speed is just pretty strong in general.
Yeah.
But
slow resist. Just shaking it off. Rift Herald's in mid.
not much to stop that, if I'm going to be honest.
Boom.
We'll take the tower. Now looking towards Dragon. Spawning in 30 seconds, so maybe a little early, but by how DPLUS is playing the map, they seem very uninterested in this Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go crazy for a first Cloud Drake if you are not in a good position for it. Showmaker, yeah.
He's just saying hello, you know? He's just making himself known.
There were so many pings on the Showmaker, who didn't have flash yet, by the way. But Sion can drift. And you might ask me, drift? What's drift? Well, that was drift. It's not, you know, able to cut around the corners that quickly.
Yeah, thank you for that, Brendan.
Yeah, no problem. Just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, I
in case you
appreciate
didn't know.
that. Yeah, I'm well aware, but you know, some of our viewers may not be. I think Degon isn't too aware. You should.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Yeah, he's not a knower.
He hasn't heard it enough.
Yeah.
We need to tell him more.
Need to tell him again.
Drift? What's drift, Degon? Yeah, see, he doesn't know. He's asking.
He's asking. He wants to know what drifting is.
They're just doing Otacon. DK, they're doing the objective. No TP for Showmaker.
Yeah, they've seen it though, and it's going very slowly. You can slow play this and let the stacks build up.
No TP yet.
Oh my!
Showmaker.
No, you can't do this anymore.
Laser kill too low.
Stop. Isn't this flash
okay.
even?
They're just sticking around. They're just going to culling it down, and it goes to Sintao. They actually get it, and the big ult in the front line is going to take out the Rel already. The follow-up damage, though, is big from DK. But they really need to get a lot out of this fight for it to be worth it for them. Doesn't look like it will be. DRX only lose Sponge, and they get Otacon for it.
Yeah, you may think this is a good thing for DRX. In the short term, yes. They got Otacon. It's going to help their odds for winning this game. But in the long term, Brendan, maybe it's a bad thing because, you know, it's going to reinforce bad behavior, right?
They're going to lose a game in the future because of this?
They just flipped Otacon. Look at Lazy Feels health and like, you know what? Double down, we're doing this. Lock in. And you know what? Sponge was locked in. Against the Lee Sin as well. Securing that spike is not an easy task. And then Beryl gets deleted. Shivu nearly does, but the ult from Showmaker keeps him alive. But I just, you know what, it's rewarding bad behavior. I feel like that's a takeaway from this.
Yeah, so they might win this game, but what about game 3? If they win it?
That's the question.
We have like a 50% higher chance of just throwing at Otacon. Every LCK team's just most wanted thing for some reason.
I just love Otacon, you know?
He is very cuddly, as you can tell.
Not sure that's how I would describe him, but sure.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
And now, slight goal lead for DPLUS, but you have the stat and XP lead that the Otacon granted. No real XP advantage is gained, but obviously mitigates a little bit any discrepancies there were before. And Lucid now looking for Sponge.
Yeah, Sponge, awkward spot, gonna get kicked, but Yukal is here, immediately stunned. They try to turn onto Sponge now. The Magnet Storm is big, and Sponge isn't able to do anything as they're all within the circle, and he gets taken out. And now, are they gonna take down Lucid? The answer is absolutely not. Aiming says, well, you can culling, we'll just take your brother down as they take out Yukal. She wasn't even here.
He just doesn't miss these Sonic Waves.
Siu gives him the big thumbs up, and he's just gonna knock him away. But okay, no stun just yet. Siu still faster.
Just keep running, Siu.
Running towards the turret.
You're dead.
Flash on in. I don't think Rich had to flash because Lazy Fuel was coming down.
It's not about having to flash. It's about sending a message. That's the thing you gotta understand.
Yeah, I guess.
So a little bit of a dub for DRX on the bot side, but the rest of the map a little bit cooked. And Lucid just the Sonic Wave. So he hits that one on a sponge initially, and then finds an angle here again on the sponge to disengage from the Talia. Okay, dashes in, kills off sponge. Another Sonic Wave onto Talia. And then, you know, just because, why wouldn't you hit the last one as well? Just don't miss.
Just don't miss.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
4-0-6 now on the Lee Sin. And feels kind of disgusting with the amount of healing Lee Sin has from his, you know, his W gives the spell vamp and lifesteal.
Yeah.
But then also just the Sundered Sky. Like, you land on a target, you Q2, you auto them, your health just, you get half your health bar back.
Yeah. And he was great at like weaving in Qs onto other targets as he was finishing off the initial target that he was focusing on, that he also hit with the Q.
Some people have said that Sponge is somewhat feast or famine. You know, he's either having a good game.
Who said that?
It's been hit. It's been said. You know, I'm not gonna get a citation for every quote that
Please include your sources.
Yeah. You know, it might have been Chronicler, but
yeah,
this game is feeling pretty famine-y compared, not so much feasty. Oh, TP comes in. Rich has ult.
Yeah, Showmaker.
Rich is the carry?
Oh, he's setting up another one. I think Showmaker's just gonna die. Yeah, with the shields. UCal just lives.
Guys, is Rich just the carry?
Yeah.
I'm not being
4-1.
facetious. He might just be the solo carry for this game.
The randomance value is so insane.
An ending despair as well does mean he is pretty unkillable once he gets into the thick of things.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the range of the item is so, you think it's like Sunfire, right? It's not. It just procs such a much longer range. Like that, like it was proc on barrel.
Oh, big damage on a sponge. Siu a little bit behind the play though, and a really nice Braum knockup to prevent the damage from coming in after barrel engages. And so now DRX in a good spot here in this fight as well. Rich he is untouchable. Lucid has to go in onto the Scion just to get away, but he's running straight at UCal. And another slow is gonna come down. DK sticking around for this one. TP coming down. And yeah, they're just gonna abandon ship. Very interesting.
Wait,
he's the carry, okay? He's here.
He just TP'd like 5 meters, you know? That is,
That's Aura right there, okay?
this is his jungle, right? He's got a lumberjack skin.
Yeah.
Look at that big axe.
Yeah, he's got a really big axe.
Look at him chop.
Oh,
got the cannon.
Cannon, that was close.
Yeah. Not beating Sponge for damage taken, though. He's leading the charge there. Yeah, so he is just a brick wall. Aiming is struggling to do any damage.
We're doing Baron in live.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, that Braum ult was fantastic for disengage, by the way. Yeah, we're just doing it.
9k HP. Sponge can definitely get here. Will DPLUS do anything about it, or will they just send it? I feel like it's a send it angle.
Just send it for the Instagram, I think.
Send it. It's oh, short wall.
They're caught behind the wall. Lucid gonna get it though, and he gets out as well. And yeah, he gets over to the Krugs. He's totally fine. I think Showmaker's not.
He's the sacrifice.
That's fine.
They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
All right, Showmaker. Yeah. Well, they get the consolation prize, and they give the kill over to UCal.
Yo, Tibbers is beating him.
50 gold too from Tibbers.
Oh, how could he give that extra money away?
I'm glad they made Tibbers worth something.
I'm just glad that this game has just come down to whoever starts the objective and flips it, just get, you know, that's just the solution. So you start the objective, the enemy jungler approaches, win the smite fight, and you know, sometimes we say 50-50, and it's like, well, it's not really a 50-50 because there's this condition and that condition. This is just pure 50-50. This is just, they walk up both.
It was like only the two junglers hit two.
They're right on the objective, and it's just like, it's just like a Western. It's just who draws right at the right time. And this time it was Lucid, you know, 1 for 1. Yes, Sponge maybe 0-4-3, but it's 1-for-1 in flips, and that's what this game is really about. It's about the flips.
Yeah, objective secured.
Well, I think
would probably be the nice way to put the stat.
Sponge is leading on that, but that's not what we're talking about. The flips, Brendan, the down and dirty flips that come out.
Yeah.
Big shock blast comes in. There is a big Scion here who is wanting to approach. He is very tanky.
Get the zoom in too.
You have the Herald's Grudge from aiming. I'm sure he will start doing damage to Scion. I actually think someone needs to get Serpent's Fang. Probably Shiwu.
Yeah.
But the fact he has the shield from the Tabby and the shield from his W, very hard to cut through.
The upgraded boots aren't called Tabby, right?
I mean, the normal boots are called plated steel cap.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was asking, because Tabby haven't been in the game for like 10 years.
It's not been 10 years. Stop trying to make me feel old, Brendan.
I think it has.
It has not been 10 years. Stop gaslighting me.
All right, well, it's closer to 10 than 5. We'll say that.
It has not been that long. It is.
Look it up right now.
Fine, I'll look it up.
It's been so long. Well, gonna stun Rich. I mean, again, you guys don't deal damage even to the shield. They can't even kill the shield.
It was removed in patch 10.23, which was 5 years ago.
Oh, that's actually much closer to 5 than 10.
Yes, 5 is much closer to 5 than 10.
Yeah.
Jeez, Brendan.
I'm glad we figured it out.
I genuinely felt, you know the end of Save It Private Ryan, when you see Matt Damon, he just ages very quickly. That's what was happening to me as you're gaslighting me. I was like, I am so old. How has it been 10 years already?
Aren't
well, that's because it
you
hasn't.
The youngest on our casting team?
Yes.
Or is that Wadid? I mean, I guess he's more of a desk analyst, but
I don't know. I'm definitely I'm on the younger end, but you nearly just turned me into an old man in one move.
not older than Atlas, you know, with Chronicler telling him like nobody in chat gets that reference to basically everything that Atlas had to say. Basically every word.
Yep.
He's like, no, nobody gets that either. Will we get Cloud Soul for DRX? Is it happening? I think they have really good setup right now.
They do have good setup. I'm interested to see how DPLUS try and break into this one. Lucid is 2 levels up. I do want to mention that. It doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, you don't get damage on spike.
Yeah, when did they
from
change
levels.
that? That was probably closer to 10 than 5.
I think it was honestly probably a similar time. Although maybe it was a bit. I don't know, man. Stop quizzing me on this stuff. Some good poke.
Yeah, good poke here. Even the Lee Sin Q's doing a decent amount of damage.
Lucid does want to go in, but it's very dangerous.
I feel like they should have started this much earlier and set up a wall. Like, they might just get it anyway. As yeah, it's Cloud Soul, Lucid a bit late to the party. And now we got the setup here. Looks like Andal going to hold up the door, but nobody else is really able to get in. Very nice kick to set this one up as the Scion. We will really test if we can kill the Scion. I think eventually with 5 people on him, they will. So DK win the fight, but they lose the soul.
Oh! The Unending Despair nearly killed him there.
Yeah.
Well, in terms... Okay, if you look at KDA, yes, Sponge's KDA is pretty rough. If you look in terms of objective secured, he's going good. I do think DPLUS, they can't end, I say tentatively.
A tentative non-end state.
I don't think they can end.
She was really strong.
Handles up, no, they can't end. I'll say with a bit more confidence than I had 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
They did look like they wanted to try it. But, you know, very late into the pit for Lucid. Some great poke from Shiwu, though, onto Yukal specifically. Not letting the Braum and Scion block it. Lucid is late to the party. That wasn't a 50-50. And then I want you to see what happens to Lazy Field. Oh my god, I cleansed, but I'm almost dead.
Yeah.
And then Showmaker flashes away, but I'm not sure he needed to. I think he was kind of winning that one. But the Lucian having some struggles in the Annie. And then here, look at the Unending... Oh, but he got hit.
Cut off. No love for Unending Despair.
So, Sponge is a walking smite. That is all he is.
Yeah.
That is all he exists as. And honestly, when the game is coming down to flips like this, maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's just what you need right now. And we have got the Serpent's Fang from Shiwu, by the way, so we'll be reducing those shields. There's, you know, There's the shield from the plated steel caps, which I've been informed is called Armored Advance.
There you go.
There's the Sound Shield. There's the Seraph Shield. There's the Bloodthirster Shield. You know, the shields for day. Braum Shield it doesn't work on. Serpent's Fang does not work on Braum Shield, you know? So a little bit misleading.
Okay, we're just going in. Sponge kicked over the wall. Walking Smite is not living very long, and he's just dead.
Yep.
You know, Lee Sin really good at getting inside the Crescent Guard.
Yeah, I also think that if you look at the KDA and the items and the gold and stuff, not surprised Lucid won that fight. At all. He was the walking smite. He is not walking anymore. Rich is in.
Yukal sending it.
Showmaker's on a flank.
Okay. Maybe gonna kill Barrel here, and they do. Meanwhile, Showmaker is very far behind, just zoning everybody away.
Yeah, he's can't kill Rich.
Offering himself as sacrifice once again. He's pretty fast. No, he's not fast anymore.
Just let him go.
It is Baron here for DK.
Whoa.
Rich?
I think they actually can just kill you.
Yeah. I don't know about this one, Rich. Yeah, he's just dead. And a nice shock blast from Shu to finish it off.
Yeah.
Desperation.
Hey, I'm gonna say one thing. At least he's not a coward, you know?
Yeah.
He ulted in.
He did.
He's ready to go.
He's been doing that a lot.
Where's he going? I don't know. I'm not sure I want to know, but he's going. He's definitely going forwards. Yeah, so without the jungler, they're like, it feels like they're trying to threaten, like, hey, we can get in the pit, and DPLUS are like, okay. And yeah. And Showmaker's trying to kill Andal. Yeah, it was just a very weird scenario.
Yeah.
Today has been a weird day. Laserfield comes in and kills him. But, I mean, the Baron secured. It's going to be an Elder flip again, because of course it is. That's just what this game comes down to.
Challengers, baby.
Today's been a very challengers day.
Yeah. Lucid on the flank. You can tell he's hunting Sponge. Or, I say that, Lazyfield was in his sights for a moment.
What did DRX have? The Walking Smite. They just need to survive for a minute 40 and get the walking smite into the Elder Pit, okay? He's 063. It's like, you know those quests you have in games where you have this NPC, you have to get somewhere, and he's really weak, and he's really slow.
He's so slow. It takes forever.
But like the mission objective is you have to get him there. That is Sponge right now. They have one goal, is get Sponge to the Elder. The Walking Smite will do the job. You need to escort him there, and it's really difficult because they're just attacking you.
Yeah. You're getting attacked by different bands of beasts along the way. It's very arduous.
Yes.
It's not an easy task. Exhausting, as you would say.
Yeah.
To some. Now, we do have the Elder in about 50 seconds. When will they begin their trek? When will the trek begin for Walking Smite?
You can see the Walking Smite is kind of just hovering in this bush, waiting. It's because, if he's not attended to, he needs, he's just going to wait there.
He doesn't move unless you stand next to him.
Exactly. It's like if you go too far away from him, he just stands still and wait, where'd he go?
He's moving now that they're next to
Yes, he latches onto his team. The Walking Smite.
Oh, but he aggroed onto the wave. You got to clear
Guys, you need to escort. Don't let him get distracted. The Walking Smite needs to get there.
I really hate when they aggro onto the one dude like 5 miles away.
Look, Andal has a potion of iron to speed him up on the trail.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, follow me. We know where we have to go.
The AI is a little bit bugged. He was trying to go towards the Krugs that are about to spawn, but
yeah, a little bit weird. Oh, they've left him in the brush again. Guys, you need to pick him up.
He's waiting. He's waiting. He's kind of looking around. I think he's bugged out again.
He's a little confused. Oh, he's trying to aggro onto that Lee Sin.
Yeah, but he can't go over walls, so.
Oh, he's coming over. He's coming over. Guys, how do we feel about Elder for Nexus trade? Has anyone ever won the Elder for Nexus trade on the Elder side?
I think so.
No, but I mean, if you trade your Nexus for the Elder.
If the trade actually goes through.
Yes, I don't think.
No, I don't think you're winning.
It's one of those art of the deal moves, you know?
Yeah.
One of the greatest. And Lucid's on the flank. Guys, protect the Walking Smite. He is the objective.
He's about to aggro onto the objective. He might be able to get in there.
Yeah, DRX feel very disjointed. The TPing it. Oh, it's a flip. It's happening.
Yukal's got a great angle here for a wall. Well, he's going to put up a wall, but Lucid's in. And it's just gonna leash. And aggro in, Sponge, keep him alive, and he'll do the job.
No, the walking smite!
No! Oh, but he's able to survive in the Crescent Guard. They can't take him down, and they get the Rel. And now Xiu taking a massive amount of damage as well. Lucid desperate to do something, but DRX are just winning the fight. Xiu comes back from the dead, but it doesn't matter. He's dead again. And now they can just push bot and end the game.
They don't even need the walking smite. He just fought. The smite wasn't needed. They managed to succeed on the mission. They managed to get it done. DRX gonna be able to close this one out, and DPLUS focused on the L to end up losing the fight. The 167 Xin Zhao who could. A man with a mission.
Quest complete. They did it. 10 seconds on barrel is not enough. And it's just done. They're down golds. Doesn't matter. And we're on the DK side of Wall Park right now. It's very quiet as they are stunned by this loss here in game 2. They should take down barrel because, well, might as well boost your stats, and that they will. The Nexus goes down, and we will have a game 3 in this series.
You know for a